We will be using your Google Drive account and creating a Google slide to share with someone else. So I am logged in with my Google account. That is my profile picture. This is what I call the waffle. I'm going to click on the waffle and it brings me all kinds of Google stuff. We want to click on the drive. I think of the drive as like your backpack. Your school backpack is where you keep all of your stuff. So the Google Drive is where you keep all the stuff that you create. These are folders of things I have created, and these are different other kinds of things that I have created. Notice over here, I am in my Google Drive. I want to create a Google slide that's going to stay in my Google Drive. So I'm going to come up here to New, and I'm going to click on Google Slides. And that opens Google Slide product for me to create. This is a product that I would use maybe to give a presentation. So right away, I don't want this. I just want a blank slide. So I'm going to click on Layout, and I'm going to choose the blank one. So now I have an open slide. And you are going to create a product for me that shows me what books, a book that you have read, and then a book you want to read. So I'm going to leave this Google slide open, and I'm going to open a new tab, and I'm going to go to the library. The library webpage is lib for library.colmalisd.org. Mine comes up automatically because I go there all the time. I'm going to hit return, choose Danville, and this is the home page, but we want to go to the catalog. So the catalog page, this is where I would search for a book. So I know there's a book called Out of My Mind that I have read and loved. And I know that's the title, so I'm going to click Title. And this is the book that I am talking about. So I'm going to open up that account. And so I want to copy this picture and remember the title. So I'm going to, with my two fingers, I'm going to click on it and copy image. And then right away, I'm going to go back to my Google slide and I'm going to paste that image. And I'm going to position it kind of a little bit down here. So I want to put a little title up there, a little message about this book. So right here, I'm going to choose the text box and I'm going to click and drag a text box. So that's now where I can type. And so I'm going to label this book something like a book I have read and loved is out of my mind, period. And so then I can kind of put that closer, and so I can see this book, the picture of it, and I can see a title. So the next thing I want you to do is go back to the library. So click on that tab and go back to catalog. And this time I want you to find a book that you haven't read but looks interesting, like you might want to read it. And so that's where you have to think about how you want to search. So like I like in the mood for books about cats. So I'm going to type in cats and I'm just going to hit keyword because I'm looking for a book that has to do with cats. And you can see right here, this is the location and this is the call number. So nonfiction, no. Fantasy, ooh, how to draw cats. Now that looks interesting. Or a joke book about cats. I mean, you can see I have 182 books that have something to do with the word cats. And so what looks interesting to me? That looks pretty good. Oh, Grumpy Cat and Pokey and the Grumpus. It's a graphic novel. That looks interesting. And go through and kind of browse a little bit. Really be thoughtful. So when you see a book that, that you might like, you know what, an action adventure book, click on the title, read a little bit about it, and see if that's what you would really want to read about, and see if that's something that looks interesting to you. You can go back to search results to get those search results that you've already searched up cat stuff. Ooh, there's another one, cats. So find one, and there's 8 pages of something to do with the word cats, books that have to do with the word cats. So once you find one, let's just say Actually, I saw this one get checked out yesterday. See how I know it's checked out? 0 of 1. But it looked really interesting. So the Whiz Pop Chocolate Shop, 11-year-old twins Oz and Lizzie, are recruited by a talking cat to assist her and M16 in foiling the disasterly plans of their great uncle, a chocolatier who used magic to make a candy that bestows immortality. See, that sounds interesting. It's in the fantasy section, and I would need to look under the call number FSAU up there in those green shelves. So I think this is the one I want to read next. So I'm going to, again, 2-finger click to copy, and then I'm going to go back to my Google slide, and I'm going to paste it. So 2-finger clicks to paste. And so now I have the second book. And then I'm going to add a little caption with my text box. So click and drag to give myself a text box. I want to read this book next because I think talking cats would be fun to read about, period. So I have a capital, I have a period at the end of my sentence. I might click and move it down a little bit. This is all I really want you to do, to get a picture you have read of a book you have read and tell me a little bit about it, and then a picture of a book that you want to read and tell me why you want to read it. In fact, you know what? I'm going to add to this. A book I have read and loved is Out of My Mind. I loved reading about a girl who everyone thought was not very smart because she couldn't talk. You'll have to read it to know what she was really thinking, period. Now, see how I kind of went over? Click and drag that, make my text box bigger, but then I'm going to click and drag it up so it's not on top of my book and down here. So if you get that far and you have all of those things, a picture of a book you've read, why you loved it, a picture of a book you want to read, and why you love it, you are ready to share it with me. And so to share it with me, up here at the top, I want you to title it your name, so I'll put my first name. That's all I need is your first name. And then I want to know what class period you're in. In Miss Ornez second, period. And that way I'll know your name, who your teacher is, and what class period I would find it. You would share it with me when you need me to print something. And so to share it, you click on Share, and you find my name in this box, and all you need to do is type in Zip, and you're going to see all the people that have the last name Zip. This is me, Melissa Zip, and hit Send. And then that will send it to me so later on I could print it. Now, if you get all that done before time is up, then I want you to play with some of these other things. What else could you add in order to make this slide look interesting? Like, could you change the background, color, maybe an image on the background? What else could you do? Could you change the way the fonts look and change the size of the fonts or the type of font? Make sure I can read it. Too cursive-y, I don't know about. So if you have time, play around with these things a little bit and see how you can make your Google slide look better so your presentation would be better.